Sustainable Development Goals are linked with Millennium Development Goals adopted by United Nations Millennium Summit in 2000 and implemented for 15 years, that is from 2000 to 2015. In order to understand sustainable development goals, we need to know about sustainable development. In this regard, the World Commission on Environment and Development, in its report Our Common Future, that got published in 1987, defined sustainable development as the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their own needs. It is also called Brundtland Report. In simple words, we can say that sustainable development is environment-friendly development. Sustainable Development Goals was adopted by UN in the UN Conference on Sustainable Development in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil in 2012. The objective of the SDGs is to promote healthy and developed future of the planet Earth and its people. These SDGs were 17 in number. Finally, in 2015, SDGs were implemented, having association with 169 targets and 304 indicators. First such SDG is related with the no poverty. Half of the people live in poverty in the world, but everyone deserves the chance to prosper. So it is the objective by 2030 to reduce the poverty by half the proportion of men, women and children living in poverty. Zero hunger. Some people have so much food, they throw part of it away, while others have too little or too much of only one sort of food. So it is the target to be achieved by 2030 that to end hunger and ensure access by all people nutritious and sufficient food all year round. Third is the good health and well-being. Good health and well-being is important. That is related with the safe and healthy birth for mother and child, and to reduce global maternal mortality ratio to less than 70 per lakh live births. Quality education is the fourth SDG. We can provide education for all starting from an early age, and it is the target by 2030 to ensure that all girls and boys have access to quality and early childhood development, care and pre-primary education. Fifth is the gender equality. Women and girls worldwide often live disadvantaged lives. Here's what we can do about it: and all violence against women and girls. Eliminate all forms of violence, including trafficking and sexual and other types of exploitation. Sixth is the clean water and sanitation. We must provide everyone with, by 2030, clean, safe water, good sanitation. Seventh SDG is the affordable and clean energy. By 2030, ensure universal and equitable access to safe and affordable, reliable and modern energy services. Increase substantially the share of renewable energy in the global energy mix. Eighth is the decent work and economic growth. Decent work, what does it mean? Everyone can freely choose a safe, fairly paid, secure and fulfilling job. And economic growth means businesses use natural resources wisely, so to protect our planet. Ninth is the industry, innovation and infrastructure. To develop quality, reliable, sustainable, and resilient infrastructure, including regional and trans-border infrastructure, to support economic development and human well-being, with a focus on affordable and equitable access for all. 10th SDG is reduce inequalities. By 2030, to empower and promote the social, economic, and political inclusion of all, irrespective of age, gender, disability, race, ethnicity, origin, religion, or economic or other status. 11th SDG is sustainable cities and communities. Here we must ensure that cities and communities are inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable, and affordable housing and basic services are there in the communities. 12th is the responsible production and consumption. We must make sure the production process from manufacturer to consumer does no harm to nature nor humanity and generates as little waste as possible. Companies must be open and responsible about their practices. By 2030, achieve the sustainable management and efficient use of natural resources. 13th SDG is climate action. The climate is changing. The climate is always changing naturally, but in the last 200 years, human behavior has had an added influence. Even with all the measures, climate is changing. So we need to have a check on it. 14th SDG is life below water. Most of the planet's surface is water. Here's what we must do to protect the oceans. First, to reduce and prevent pollution. Second, protect the ecosystems. So, to maintain pollution-free life even below water. Life on land. As a part of the global ecosystem ourselves, we need to conserve and protect plant and animal life on land. Reduce deforestation. How can we do it? By reducing deforestation and plant more and more trees, and also to combat desertification of the land. 16th SDG is peace and justice. Strong institutions. Too many people experience war and violence. Here's what we must do about it. As we are watching in Afghanistan, and all forms of violence, especially violence against children, it is an important SDG. 17th is the partnerships for the goals. We must make sure we meet these goals by 2030. They must be included in national plans, policies, and laws based on SDGs. All countries must work together to implement these goals. Hope you would like